Hello and welcome to the show. I got a fresh shave. I got the nice funky bandana today. You know, there's some green on it that kind of matches. You can't really see it. It matches the flannel. Yeah, you know what? I'm a bandana guy. I've always been a little bit of a hippie vibe, and I'm gonna continue to rock bandanas. I'm bringing them back. You know, I'm a backwards hat guy, of course, too, and a regular hat guy. But the bandanas, I'm sorry, they're cotton. You know, you ain't gonna worry about any chemicals or acrylic or polyester in them. Well, for the most part, obviously you can probably buy some with them. But you know, for a bald head guy, I rock it, and I'm gonna continue to rock it. I'm bringing them back. I'm bringing them back slowly at a time. On today's show, though, I kind of want to get something out of the way, though. I had a little meltdown this morning over a stinking mouse. So I bought. This is how you know you're getting so much more. I call it spiritually in tune with things, or just as I get older, my compassion for animals. I've talked about this before, but it just keeps getting more and more. And I had a little mini breakdown today. Well, not a breakdown, but a little emotional setback from I bought some live mice traps, right? And because I got tired of killing mice, because it hurts. I just can't do it. Even though I know they're pests, but I just can't. I can't keep killing them. So I bought some live trap ones, just a little catch and release thing. Well, I had set them out. I ain't kidding you, for like a month. Nothing came in. A month and a half, 2 months probably, actually. Nothing. And well, I didn't check the one for probably at least, I don't know, a week and a half or so, because I just assumed it's just not working, but I still had it set. And sure enough, I caught one, and he had passed away from either probably there's air, there's things you can breathe, but I'd say just water. He lacked water. So died from anyways, it's a terrible thing. And so, not a good way to start my day. But here we are on Sunday. We are going to cover some things today. It's already been, again, these are just current events, Epstein files, some videos on another flat earth thing I'd seen, of course, but we're always going to start off with something funny. And you know what? I don't even care if this is like offensive to people. I don't care. This is something that everybody knows, but they never say it, right? Let's just watch.
Yo, dude, want to see some pictures of our new baby? They are the cutest.
Oh my god, of course!
Hey, show me that little guy.
So cute. Look at this one.
So cute. So, I just want to pinch his little... What's his name?
Oh, we don't know. We haven't
You haven't named him yet, but you did a whole photo shoot with him?
Oh my god, look at this one. It's my favorite one.
That's my son.
Jesus Christ, is he alive? Boy in the world.
Was this the day he was born?
Yes, isn't he the cutest?
Yeah, right. So, that's what I was going to say. I can't stop looking at it. That's my boy. So, cute.
Okay, so, oh my goodness. I'm like, you know what? I haven't had any kids yet, so I maybe I'm being a little bit, I guess, subjective, right? But like even my sister's kids and even myself, I'm like, hey, if you got an ugly baby, you got an ugly baby. Doesn't mean like a couple of my sister's kids, they are beautiful kids now, but man, a couple of them were some ugly babies, and it's like that's okay. Well, in my opinion, of course, I'm sure in a mother's eyes or a father's eyes, their baby can't be ugly. My opinion, I'm like, dude, your baby's ugly, right? Now, granted, that doesn't mean that they're going to be like, I was an ugly baby from like pictures I've seen, and I think I turned out pretty good looking. And so you never know, right? And I'm sorry, I let my ego take away right there. But yeah, dude, ugly babies. Most of them are ugly. Like most babies, I'm not like, oh, look at that gorgeous baby. No, most of them are ugly, are stinking super ugly. And while we're on that, let's I'll end on the other comedy one, but while we're talking about this is a weird segue. But I am so sick and tired of everybody's apathy and indifference. Again, let's watch this video. This got huge on TikTok, and this is the type of person I'm like, I want to be around. I need to be around this guy. So let's check this one out.
Because the Epstein files have been released. All of y'all are acting fucking normal. Epstein files have been released, and all of y'all are acting normal. All of y'all acting normal. They can laugh, but y'all can Google it. They can laugh, but y'all can Google it. The Epstein files have been released, and all of y'all are acting normal. All of y'all are acting normal.
It really
All of
constipated.
y'all are acting normal.
They might not lost their goddamn mind.
Fucking airport is acting normal.
Everybody's calling.
No, you shut the fuck up.
Wait, don't say nothing.
Because the Epstein files, what I'm reading, and everybody in this room can read. If you go to Google right now, everybody in this room can read. They are eating babies. They are trafficking children. And if you think for a second any fucking thing in your life matters, you are on the fucking wrong side of history. You are on the fucking wrong side of history. It don't matter about this flight. It don't matter about who in this fucking airport. It don't matter about this nigga walking past me right now. I don't.
Okay. This is... Yeah, actually, I kind of got chills just letting that video. I haven't watched it for a minute. But people are living... we are living in the upside down. Like, literally, I don't even know what... This is where nihilism, I know people say, like, you know, you become a nihilist and things creep in, but, like, what is the... when we talk about living in Satan's season... And we talk about, like, this is the devil's realm. Like, we are being ruled by the devil. The people that are running this world are ruled by the devil. They worship the devil. They love the devil. They hate Jesus Christ. They hate him so much. And they are trying everything they can to win souls to hell. Not only win souls to hell, but actually try to defeat Jesus, try to defeat Christianity, try to actually... And in these files, there's so many things about transhumanism and different things, and trying to literally usurp the throne of God. Through their mind, again, their mind is so twisted, their mind is so corrupt that they actually think themselves gods. Like even Epstein himself thought himself like they're so atheistic that again it creeps into other realms of like it's worse than Luciferianism. It's worse than like at least Luciferianism they worship something. They this is all about self worship and self ascension. And this guy. As this girl in the video is saying, "Oh, calm down, he's crazy." He is the only normal. Like I don't know how to live in a freaking normal world anymore. When this stuff this isn't like the mafia that's doing this. These are the people that you pay mother freaking taxes to. We pay these freaking dudes, and we are run by these guys. We buy their stuff. We use their stuff. We live in the most evil place on earth. And people's like, oh, my boss today is like, you don't think America's the best country in the world? I'm like, yeah, because you live in a freaking bubble. Like, what bubble are you living in that you don't understand what is going on? Like, nobody's paying attention to this. Like, you go back to work, you go watch your ball games, you go back to taking your kids to school and just working your 9 to 5 and pay. And let's just overlook this. Your overlords, your powers that be are just... They're releasing all this stuff while we do nothing. And it's like, well, you're not doing anything. It's like, okay, well, at least I'm talking about it. Because not talking about it and ignoring everything is going to get you somewhere. Like, that's going to get us somewhere in life. That's going to get us somewhere to ever overthrow this authority. And we have no responsibility to say anything about this, to do anything about this. We have no responsibility to shine the biggest light on this corruption. Like, why are your churches not talking about it? Why are the churches not talking about it? Why is your family not talking about it? Why is your coworkers not talking? Like, this should be constantly being thrown around. Like, people even like, oh, Candace has pushed it too far with the Charlie Kirk thing. Are you freaking kidding me? So as long as time goes by, we can just ignore and just have apathy for everything. So like so 6 months from now or a year from now, when we're talking about the Epstein, well, you're still talking about that? Are you freaking kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? Like, that's what, like, it'll honestly drive you insane. Like, how are you, and this is why, like, it's like, what are we doing? What the freak are we doing? Like, what are we doing, people? We're just sitting here. We're going to go back to our jobs. We're going to go back to, while we're being run by satanic pedophiles that rape and murder children. They rape and murder children. Movies like The Hunt, they tell you so much of this, and through their interviews, through their freaking symbols, through their messages, how much pizza was talked about. I remember years ago being exposed to the Follow the Cabal conspiracy video, and that girl actually has now since died. Of course she has. I think Jody Oshlager maybe is her name, that created that, something similar to that. Don't quote me on that. But and I remember going down the rabbit hole of Isaac Happy and Frazzle Drip, and seeing things I can never unsee, and hearing things I can never unvisualize anymore, right? And it's like, those are dark places. Like watching movies like Sound of Freedom, those are dark places to go. But like, so you're telling me you just want to stay in your bubble the rest of your life? None of this evil is going on while it's being perpetrated right in front of you, while it's being disclosed right in front of you, while they're saying, hey, hold the Dow's over 50,000 points. If we were to ever actually prosecute everybody in these files, the whole system would collapse. Then let it collapse. Let it burn to the mother frickin' ground. Let it burn to the ground. It's just insane to me that we live. And what's funny is people's like, lost his mind. He's the most sane one in the whole terminal. You're laughing at him, but he's completely right. Zoochosis. Yes, zoochosis. Bravest man in that room. That's what I'm talking about. Like, at least have the courage to say something. At least have the courage to talk about it. Like he said, nothing freaking matters. Nothing matters. Your overlords, your government, your country, your other countries are that. This is a mass cooperation of evil powers and overlords and elitists that are doing this, and we're just like, well, America, freedom. Let's give Venezuela some freedom. It's just like, that's what I'm like again. Like, are you guys that fluorided out? Are you guys that chemically castrated in your mind? Is your mind that chemically castrated that you no longer have any balls? You got no tests left. You got no balls left to say anything, to stand for anything, to advocate for the truth, right? To reveal evil, to talk. Are you that scared? Are you that scared? Or are you just like, are you just again that just indifferent to like, well, it doesn't matter what we do? So, okay. So at what point does that break? At what point what is your breaking point of evil, right? This world, it's so crazy because they have co-opted our minds and co-opted your entire dream of reality from the time you're a kid. It's has been shattered of what the world is, right? Of what truth is, and that's why that's why they hate Jesus, because he is the way, the truth, and the life. That's why they hate him so much. They hate his name. They hate his name because we are run by evil. And it just gives so much further substantiation to the fact that we are in Satan's season. Like, it's like, that's the only reasonable solution from this. Like, when people talk about hating God and hating, like, why would God allow this? Why would God? It's like, well, maybe we're in that. And then even that, well, why would God allow this season of Satan? Or maybe to test some of his true soldiers, right? Maybe to test some of his true people to be aware of this, to wake to this, right? It's what's called waking up. You now have realized how evil, how it is spiritual warfare. It is absolute. It is not your brother or your sister that goes to church, or your coworker or your family member. Yes, like, it is spiritual warfare that is taking over their soul, taking over their mind. And we're just okay with it anymore. Right? Like, we have just become, we are in zoochosis. We have become a zoo. We eat, we work, we sleep, we go to our games. And nobody cares. Nobody freaking cares, man. All these comments, he's right, and why are we all not acting like this? Why does nobody agree with him? This crash out is 100% valid. He's actually the only one acting completely normal. Because why aren't we all angry? Unfortunately, he is underreacting. Exactly. And people were sitting there like, oh, this dude, what are you doing? Well, what are you doing? Calm down. Calm down. So what? These people, these overlords that literally run your financial system, run your political system, run your economic system. So what? They eat babies. They sex traffic. All these kids from the time they're like 7 years old, boys and girls, rape them, murder them, eat them. Yeah, you crazy conspiracy theorist. It's literally now they have actually disclosed it to you, actually told you. Actually, I mean, it's, and we're still just like, and do you realize what that allows now? What that permits is this disclosure of this? Like, if we're not going to throw an outrage, or if we're not even going to say throw an outrage, if we are not going to burn the entire system to the ground over that, we won't burn it to the ground for nothing. We will literally allow, that's why they talk about COVID, or that, I shouldn't say COVID, but allow that testing phase to be, that was a test of like, oh, well, if we can lie to them this much and they can't see the truth and they're going to allow us to jab themselves and, stand 6 feet apart and listen to all our rules. I can see why they look at us as test rats, like as test dummies. That's exactly what we are. We're just these little test freaking dummies. And you're giving them credibility by not saying anything, by not doing anything, by not standing up for truth at all. You're just like, no. We have lost it. We have lost it as a society. We have lost it as a people, as a nation. Like, we have absolutely lost our freaking minds that we are not, that this is normal. And you might say, well, no, I don't think that's normal. Well, then why are you still, what are you doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Like, what the freak are we doing? What is the purpose? What is the point? I mean, you hear quotes, evil persists or whatever when good men do nothing. Well, good men have been doing nothing for a long time. And I mean, even myself, like, good men are doing nothing. And when I see a good man, a guy that I respect, and his response to something like this is like, well, what are you supposed to do? Like, I'm like, wow, dude, really? You too? Et tu, Brute? Even you, Brutus? Or you too, whatever that famous, it's a Julius Caesar quote. Et tu, Brute, yeah. You too, huh? Like, where are we? Where are these? No, I can't even point. Where are these type of men, right? Where are the ones that are? And I understand it. That's why I relate. I love his character, and I know it's just a character, and I know there's heavily, supposedly inaccurate depiction of actually William Wallace and whatever. But even if it's not, even if it is, the honor and integrity and nobility of his character to stand for truth and for freedom at all cost, you're willing to sacrifice your life for it. That he could have had a cushy countryside. Obviously the killing of his wife was what spawned that, because he was actually going to be less involved, right? When you push a reasonable man to do unreasonable things. And there are so many men I know that are out there, and women. Actually, it's more women to me. Like, yeah, we got Candace Owens, the one who's standing up for truth, and to me is showing more characteristics of a person who's actually honorable, whether she's controlled opposition, whatever. But at least what I'm seeing is somebody who has the balls to say something. And that's why, like, I don't care what gender you are, male or female. I respect anybody who is willing to be. I think there's a girl Shipwreck maybe on TikTok. Like, man, I just, there's something that gets my that hits that patriotic nerve, right? Of like, wow, you know what? Yes, this is how you should be reacting. Yes, this is exactly how you should be reacting. This is how upset you should be. It should be it should be whatever primal rage you have inside of you. Like, we all, it clicks every once in a while. It comes out, right? We all have this primal rage that most of us, as we get older, we learn to control it. We use it in different, whether it's the gym or we're able to capture that and target it. We're not just, children lashing out, right? We're not just children screaming because we didn't get, because we're mad or we're upset. There's still a rage inside of you that every so often something pricks it. This shouldn't just prick it. This should stab it and twist it and provoke it so much that you have no other option but to be enraged. And I say that gently as a Christian because I know people's going to say, well, be slow to anger, right? Be slow to wrath. But if you don't think Jesus Christ himself would be enraged over this evil, you don't think God gets angry at evil? You don't think Christ gets angry at evil? You don't think they're sitting there? You don't think Michael the archangel gets angry when he sees evil? They would be, and you think you have, we use it as a scapegoat as Christians sometimes, that you know what? God's got this. God's got this. God does have this. But is he your scapegoat now for everything? Too afraid to do anything, too afraid to say anything, too afraid. I've been wearing some anti-Zionism shirts at the gym now. Not that it's, I'm doing it to be, but it's like, make a statement somehow. Say something somehow. Stand up for truth somehow. Talk about it more. This should overcome you with so much rage that you can't help but talk about it. Because that's how deep and dark this evil is that is permeating our entire world. I don't know what to sometimes you become so saddened by this world anymore, right? By this evil. I don't even like that it even affects my emotions that much, but it affects my emotions because there is also something inside of you that wants to protect the innocent, right? Like it's a sadness. It's not just an angry emotion, but it's a sadness emotion for these innocent people and children and families. Just because we can't see them or they're not in our little world, our little bubble. You have no obligatory right or obligatory compassion towards them or something, right? It should be obligated in you to always want to protect the innocent. That's why abortion is such an evil thing and such a thing that we abhor as Christians, right? We detest it. We detest it. And I myself have been apathetic to it. That's how they get us. Time and apathy, and what are you going to do? What can you do? What do you just, and then they redefine it. But there should be some emotions in you that want to protect innocence, that want to protect, that want evil to die, want evil to be held accountable. And this isn't just an evil that, this isn't just, we talk about evil and things that are, and sin that is, sin is evil. And man, have I done some evil. But there are layers to this, right? There are layers to this evil. And to them, to these elites that do this, it's just they've become so accustomed to this evil, right? That's how it works. That's how sin works. You become so accustomed that like why murderers, when I hear this a lot. I don't know this. I'm not a psychologist, but like once they get that taste of blood, right? Once they murder their first murder, it becomes easier and easier, and they become so acclimated to it in a way that it becomes a normal way of life. It's normal. It's not detestable like how we see it or how we view it. Just like people that, it's that conscience of that goes away. It's the same with this evil. It's become so normal that to them, that's not detestable. And it just sickens me. It sickens me to see the state we're in as a society. I would have never dreamed of this 20 years, 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. I was kind of open to this and of course wanted to not believe it. What's funny is there's been some TikToks that come out like, I'm sure now that conspiracy theorists, they've been right about everything. Maybe I've seen even one like, well, maybe they are right about the flat Earth. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. I know. It sounds insane, but does it anymore? Right? Maybe this will get you to wake up a little bit to realize that these are not things that we want to believe. These are not things that we want to be true. These are none of this is. None of our reality wanted to be shaken this much. None of our reality wanted to be stripped down naked this much to where we had to literally go out and reclothe ourselves and rewire ourselves from the dirt. We had to rewire our minds from nothingness. We had to strip it down to nothingness. Had to strip our egos down to nothingness. Because we had to allow this information to allow truth to reveal itself. You have to do that. You have to strip your ego and your mind to nothingness to allow truth in and speak for itself. And so many of us aren't willing to set those aside. But while we're talking about, let's do a quick segue. I've ranted enough on this. Let's do a segue to a little quick flat Earth video. I really like this one.
I'm from outer space. I got Milky Way for blood, evolution in my veins. I'm gone, I've been far away. I'm a human here now, make a move, start the waves. I've been breathing on my fire for a long time. I had a vision from the birds, they want a gold sign. Artificially intelligent way, I'm your future, past and present, I'm a fine line. Yeah, I'm a listening of this illusion. I am not really here, I'm an intrusion. I don't swim or sink, I just flow. I don't need gravity, I don't need room. When I move, it's in a quick rumble. I won't ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho.
So again, a very simple illustration of compasses. Obviously, we have a compass that points to a North Pole. Anybody that understands the flat Earth model, we have the Rupus Negra, the black rock, which of course is conveniently the number one owner of every major company in the world. There's a reason why. Again, this is disclosure. This is things that they tell you, and this is their wink and nod, right? But a very simple experiment. How can a compass that's magnetically drawn point through the Earth on a globe? Also, how on a globe that's constantly spinning, why is the compass, how could it ever be positioned? It would be constantly spinning as well, right? Because we're spinning, so the compass would be spinning. So if we're moving, the compass would be moving. And a very simple explanation. You got a metal attraction there in the center with no curvature to work around, all right? It's flat. Again, for the most part, there's hills and valleys and plateaus. And guess what? You can't do that on a ball surface, because how can something point through, right? Because you're going to have a huge landmass eventually in the way as you're curving, or curving away, or curving up. It would never work. This is a simple, these are the simple things. It's like, okay, well, there's got to be, as again, people that are educated, there's got to be a more difficult explanation, right? That's not science. No, it's as simple and easy as experiments like this. Just with like your perception, just like a container of water. I know it's so simple. It's that simple. It's that simple. Black Rock Mountain is magnetic. The Bible is the truth, period. Exactly. If we were spinning, the compass would never stop spinning either. Exactly. Flat flat Earth. It's beautiful to see how many new flat Earths waking up so quickly. We're growing. Welcome. Yeah. Yeah. The Earth is flat. So, yeah, that's we've been telling you for years. This is something I'm sure 10, 20, 30, if the world's still standing, and there's, I don't know if it's going to be honest with you. But it'll probably eventually come out, I'm sure. But yeah, so quick flat Earth video. We're going to now transition to a couple other ones real quick. These are all around the files because obviously that's the biggest thing. But you Trump supporters, who I obviously was once one, this was a guy at this time when this video came out, or when he said things like this, I could get on board with. And any of you that are awake now or can put anything together, can put any 1 + 1 together, would realize how easily he's bought and paid for. But this video would show you, this is the type of person I probably would have, if he was like this today, yeah, I could have got on board with, still support, but not anymore.
Major donors, they have total control over every single thing she does. She's their puppet, and they pull the string.
Iraqis did not knock down. It was not Saddam Hussein that knocked down the World Trade Center. Okay, that's like, look, bottom line, there were no weapons of mass destruction. They said there are weapons of mass destruction. I was against the war when it started. It may have been the worst decision going into Iraq, may have been the worst decision any president has made in the history of this country. That's how bad it is, okay? But the key is a lasting peace. If you have a lasting peace, first thing you have to ask, do they both want to make it? I have a real question as to whether or not both sides wants to make it. I have a real question as to one side in particular, whether or not they want to make it. Well, I think one side actually would like a deal, and I think the other one maybe doesn't want a deal, to be honest. I think a lot is going to have to do with Israel. A lot will have to do with Israel and whether or not Israel wants to make the deal. A lot of killers. We got a lot of killers. Well, you think our country's so innocent? You think our country's so innocent?
I don't know of any government leaders that are killers anymore.
Well, take a look at what we've done too. Okay, but a lot of people were killed, so a lot of killers around, believe me. One bad word about Israel, you were virtually out of politics.
Wow. Could you imagine him saying them things now? One bad word about Israel, and you're virtually like these. See, these are how these politicians get you, right? They say things like this that, you know what? Oh, Saddam. Us conspiracy people even know, like the Saddam Hussein and Iraqis that blew up 9/11. We all know that's not true. We all know it's a government inside job. And here he is, the previous Donald Trump, who I would support. I love all the comments. And now Trump reports to Netanyahu. That's the guy I voted for then boom. And it shows the both parties leading to the Zionism. Trump, before he got shot in the ear, hasn't been the same since the Epstein files. GG. He is our good little Goyim boy. For sure, before the blackmail, this is why people supported him. He folded. Now Israel is pulling the strings. We see what Israel really is, and now Trump is letting us all down. The old bait and switch. Yeah. He's blowing Netanyahu. We've known this forever. I mean, did you not see the video of when Netanyahu a couple of days ago went into Congress and had like a freaking standing ovation from both sides? Our own president doesn't get a standing ovation from both sides, but Netanyahu, it's like, you guys are so stupid if you don't see that. You're ignorant. You are ignorant if you don't see that. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that. I should be more kinder, but I'm tired of playing nice. I'm tired of trying to be patient with people. They still cannot put it together. They still cannot see it because they don't want to see it. They don't want to see it. Here's another video I wanted to check out.
Yeah, I'd love to talk about the Bad Bunny halftime show. I know it's a really important story, but I'm a little focused on the breaking news that the U.S. and Israel are using a weapon that is literally evaporating Palestinians by the thousands, leaving behind just blood spray and fragments of flesh. I'm a little preoccupied.
Okay, that one I haven't verified. I haven't fact-checked that, but again, that wouldn't surprise me. I mean, he brings up a news article about it. There's a lot of comments that supported it too that was talking about it. That's psycho. And obviously it's like... the technology of what we have today and what they actually give us, when they show us and they tell us what they have, we know is just a fraction of what they actually have, right? It's so minuscule in comparison to what they actually are working with. So the fact that they are evaporating people would not surprise me 1 second. it wouldn't surprise me for 1 second. I read the technology they have where they can simulate, not even simulate, but they actually cause a heart attack with a certain device. If you're within a certain radius of them, they can basically point it like a frequency type thing. They can point it to you. Like that's why a lot of these people that they've kind of killed off have had heart attacks. So you wonder, you have to wonder sometimes, again, with the capability they have, and that would not surprise me whatsoever, that they can just evaporate things. There's a sort of energy weapon that just would obliterate people to nothing, smithereens. Yeah. And so that's kind of like what our future's looking like as far as, you know, anybody that resists us, anybody that's going to resist the powers that be. Yeah, we're cooked. We're cooked for sure. Here's another one I wanted to watch, and this one is just because. Well, let's watch the George Carlin one real quick.
Everybody keeps telling me how much freedom we've got now. So many choices, unlimited choices. You can choose your phone color, your ringtone, your apps, your news source, your political team, your pronouns, your streaming service. Wow, what freedom. Meanwhile, you don't get to choose your rent, you don't get to choose your wages, you don't get to choose healthcare prices, you don't get to choose whether you're in debt for the rest of your life, but hey, pick a background color. They let you customize the menu while they decide the price of the food. You can scream red versus blue all day long, argue with strangers, lose friends, ruin Thanksgiving dinner, and the bill still shows up exactly the same either way. That's not choice, that's theater, bad theater. They love cosmetic freedom, freedom that doesn't cost them a fucking thing. They don't want you free, they want you busy. Busy clicking boxes, busy arguing bullshit, busy choosing nonsense, so you don't notice the real decisions were already made without you. That's the trick. Real control doesn't look like a cage, it doesn't rattle, it doesn't scare you. It just sits there, smiling, looking like options. And at some point, people start confusing clicks with freedom. They think picking from a list means they're in charge. Once it feels like a choice, people calm down. They feel smart. They feel involved. They feel like they figured something out. And meanwhile, everyone keeps doing the same dumb shit they were doing yesterday. Comfortable, predictable, familiar. That's the premise.
Carlin, and I've mentioned several times, was so ahead of his time. I mean, he was awake before awake was a thing or became catchy, right? You know, he was very aware, and used his comedy obviously to again try to speak truth. And people are laughing in the audience. People have no idea because they're not awake. And it's similar today. Again, when you can be direct as I'm being direct, and they're still looking at you cross-eyed or like, I don't know about that. He's using comedic. Content, you know, to get people to wake up, and he still couldn't do it. But how true it was, like again, this illusion of options. Like we think, well, we're going back to the freest country. Like we're not. They just give you choice because you can make some choices about your life. Like, oh, I can choose this. I can choose to go to Wendy's or Dairy Queen or this church or that church, or I can choose this job or that job. But it's still a job. It's still taking your wages, stealing from you. You're paying your taxes to a evil, corrupt government, but you think you got a choice. You still got to have a place to live. Because I can choose to live in Chicago or Florida. Can you, though? Can you afford it? Or if you can't afford it, here's the only jobs that you can have that will afford this lifestyle. And again, we think we have freedoms. We think that and I know, and I'm sure in a lot of countries we think we have freedom, and I'm sure we do compared to some countries. But you're not free. You're not free. You are not free. You know how I know you're not free? Because I can't say certain. Because you can't even talk about certain things. You can't wear certain things. People are like, oh, it's inflammatory. It's like, no, they've programmed you to believe that things are inflammatory or anti this, anti that. Can't talk to can't say how you truly feel. We're all just, playing this game. We're all playing a game. But we didn't make the rules to the game. We didn't get to have an option whether we want to play the game or not. But sure enough, we're in the game. And there's no way out. Oh, there's a eventual way out. But as long as we're here on this earth, there's not. Okay. So let's transition let's transition to, I got one or two more things I want to show. I was going to talk about the Gilgamesh thing today, but maybe we'll save that because that's becoming a catchy subject now too. But we're just going to end on a couple videos that I'm like, yeah, these are awesome. So it says, this is your sign to host a conspiracy theory night with your friends. These are my people. Where are these people? Where are you? Where are... It's like, people like, well, you know, you listen to all your conspiracy. It's like, these are the only people that I can relate to and connect with that, to me, are not NPCs. That are real people that actually have real feelings and real emotions, and are trying to connect dots and put things together and realize this freaking evil world we're living in, and trying to, at least maybe have some type of community about it, right? And trying to, I would love to do that. Here's a PowerPoint presentation of all our different conspiracies, right? But actually with the spin of it being educational and being fun. But people are too asleep for that. They're too asleep. Everybody in the I wish, but my friends are bots. Y'all got friends with attention spans? I need these kind of friends. My friends would be thinking I'm crazy. Antarctica is the key to everything. My topic would be the government controlling the weather. Oh, can I hang with y'all? Where are y'all at? My presentations would take the whole night. Yeah, so would mine. That would be a problem. We'd have to have a cap or a limit. I hate the term conspiracy theory because we're just using our brains, honestly, and not even at full potential. Exactly. Like, I hate, it's such a derogatory term anymore. Oh, this is my type of party. I need friends like this. Yeah, so do I. So do I. Because it's lonely. It's a lonely life or lonely world when, when you're in your town or your area and nobody's awake and they're all asleep. Everybody's asleep. Everybody's playing the game. Like Corwin says, we're all asleep. We're all thinking we're living free and we're just living life. It's like, no, we live in a satanic, pedophilia-run flat earth that we're probably in Satan's season, and that they are slowly killing us, killing your kids, killing us, indoctrinating you. Like, it's just like, and we're all like, yeah, well, I still gotta go to work in the morning. I gotta go to work in the morning. Guys, I gotta go to work. How does this affect I gotta still work tomorrow. I gotta still work. Oh, it's insane. All right, we're gonna end on one final video. And this is just one that I found funny, and I wanted to play it because at least I remember this as a kid on some things, and I'm like, and I love this. I love this. If you've been down this rabbit hole, but if you've been down this content on TikTok, you would understand.
I threw my hands in the air, said, show me something. He said, if you dare come a little closer.
I remember I had a class. It was a math class. I don't think it was a math class. I don't know if it was a math or science class, but everybody got, it wasn't a ruler, but it was like one of them angled things. It was like, obviously wasn't a protractor maybe, what it was called a protractor. Everybody starts getting their protractor out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, my protractor's in my locker. And I'm just looking around, and you just start like you guys need a protractor for this answer. Meanwhile, I got every single answer wrong that required the protractor. I didn't even know how to probably use a protractor, to be honest with you, to be frank. It's like when everyone's using a ruler, but you don't know why. I love this one too, because I remember this a couple times with the graph paper too. Everybody has, maybe you had to do some of your work on graph paper, and I'm like, why is everybody asking for graph? Somebody in the comments, when everyone is asking for extra paper. Then the teacher looks at your paper and says, class, make sure to read the questions before answering. Worse is a calculator. Like, what are y'all calculating? When everyone is arguing, the answer is either 48 or 50, but your answer was in an alphabet. Then you realize you should have stayed home. Then you realize it's time to learn mechanic work. Then you realize nature has always been beautiful. Shoot, the funniest part is that I always have material, but I don't know what they're used for. Until you hear someone say, "Sir, I need a graph sheet," and you have no idea what question requires that. Shoot. Okay. Anyways, I want to start with the laugh, end with a laugh, because it was a pretty depressing episode. But things we must talk about, things we must be passionate about, things you must be convicted about, things you must speak about and reveal. And let that truth guide you. Let Jesus Christ rule in your heart, rule your mind. And these things you will want to pour this out. But most importantly, follow the Lord Jesus Christ. Worship Him each and every day. Give Him credit for everything in your life. And let Him be the ruler of your life. Let Him cast out this darkness, this evil. He will handle it. But guess what? You're a soldier. You are a soldier as well. Put on your helmet of salvation. Take up that sword of truth. And do not be afraid to wield it and use it. Thank you. God bless.